Hello, my family. So, I want to give you an update on something that is absolutely amazing. I've told you that I'm not afraid of who I am, and I told you that I do take a lot of leadings from the gut from the Lord above. This in the garden is no exception. I told you I had a big leading and I was being taught something vitally important. And so I want to show you what the results to following that lead after 2 years meant to me in this homestead. I am absolutely blown out of my mind of what's happening. I do not regret one bit for listening to the Lord, and you're going to hear this noise in the back right now. Hubby is actually fixing our driveway using his he gets to use the job equipment. He works for a paving company, so that's the noise that you're hearing. But I had to do this. Okay, one of the biggest reasons I went and got these raised beds was because for me, root systems were really hard in the 20-foot beds that I've had. One, they are not deep enough, and two, the ground underneath it's like rock. The clay, the stone, and everything underneath it. And people think I'm crazy, including sometimes maybe hubby. But I'm proving a point right now. So here is one of my points. For the past 2 years, almost 3, that I've been trying to grow radishes, and I've noticed a pattern every year. Everything would grow so far and then start to lean over. I never got a beautiful bulb formation in anything. When I pulled my tomato roots, I noticed that the roots were kind of shallow. They were not really long at all, and in some aspect they would go down and then sideways. So I started paying attention to this, and I'm like, how do I fix this? One, it meant depth. Two, it meant good soil for the roots to travel. So I decided this over the winter that I was going to invest in the raised beds. Let me show you the result for following that lead, for the provisions that was given to me to be able to do what I'm doing. I am going to blow your mind as much as it's blowing my mind. Yeah, this is the third basket. The third basket. You see this? These are all radishes, but it's not just any radish. I've got to show you these. Although they're different sizes, I've got to show this to you. Y'all, look at that. Look at that beautiful radish. I have never gotten my radishes that big. That was from a red globe. I gotta show you one. See if I can find it in this tangled mess in here. I did what was called Easter egg ones too, or Easter basket, which those were different colors, like this one right here. Look at this, y'all. There it is. Okay. This was part of it too. Look at that. Look at this. This is amazing. This is what happens when I follow the leading on what I'm supposed to. Now I'm going to take you through the rest of the garden, because that's just these radishes. I am completely ecstatic about the garden this year. I cannot wait to see my harvest. I told you in the beginning, something told me that this was going to be the year of the harvest, and I'm seeing why. As long as I listened on and obeyed basically to the leading that was given to me, I was being taught, but all I had to do was listen. Now let me take you through the rest of the garden, because I am leaping for joy and about to be in tears from the amazing results of what's happening today. I have told you that we've had some really bad time with border vines, and this is the bed. Remember, the raised bed that we covered because I was protecting these. I want to show you something. For the first time in 2 years, look what we got. Look at this, y'all. I have not seen squash in 2 years, and I am seeing it all up in here. Now it's hard for you to see in here, but yeah, but look at these plants. Look how gorgeous these plants are. Here is our kale inside of here. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this back up. Okay, so those beautiful radishes I was showing you, that's them right there. And they're still, now they are compacted and you see the results of what I'm still getting. But here's something even more phenomenal. In 2 years that I've been doing this, okay, you see these green leafy things here? Y'all, these are carrots. I have never been able to grow a carrot in years. And look, I've got carrots coming up. Same with my beets. I've never been able to get a beet, and they're standing, look, y'all, straight up and down. They are not leaning over. This is our bush beans. The prettiest I have seen our bush beans ever. And then back here along that fence line, look at all those cucumbers coming up. We have our bed. These, y'all, is our eggplant. 2 different varieties of eggplants. And you see what's happening here. These are our bell peppers. Y'all, look at this. Look how beautiful these bell peppers are. And yes, we're starting to get blooms. But I want to show you back here too. These were the littles. These are the Alapo peppers. And they're thriving quite well. They were a little late bloomers, but it'll be all right because we have a long growing system. But look at this. Look at these tomatoes. These are our Roma San Marzanos, or actually tomatoes. San Marzanos. I have not been able to grow a San Marzano. I'm actually going to have to build a different type of trellis for this. But what's more amazing, let me show you an example from this to where they originally started from. This, y'all, you remember this bed? Let me back up a little bit. You remember this, right? This is the one we've been growing in for years. This is the one that everything would go in here, but never grow far enough. Now let me show you an example. Now I showed you all of the tomatoes and the bell peppers in those beds. But let me show you what the difference in here. And you tell me if I did the right choice. See these peppers, y'all? This is bok choy. Now let me show you what I was talking about because it's doing the same thing. You see how it leans over? It doesn't grow enough. There's just some reason it cannot root down into this ground. We're going to have to change this whole aspect of this bed. Here's those bell peppers right here. How about these tomatoes, y'all? Yes, these are our tomatoes. Let me go show you the other side. Same one, but this is the second one that we have. Okay, here's the Swiss chard. This should have been a whole lot bigger, but they're not being able to, look, see what they're doing? They grow so far, they're leaning over. They're not being able to, here's another one. They're just leaning over, y'all. Here's the bell peppers. They're not really strong. Now, the greens do great in here. So I'm wondering if that would be about the only thing we can at this point. And here's those tomatoes. They're doing a little better than the others, but not quite as much. Now my dill. I'm really surprised because I did plant dill in here, but I'm seeing they're starting to lean over. See this? See how they're leaning over like this? They won't go far, and that makes me sick. But let me show you something else. Remember the celery and the lettuce bed? Y'all, look at this celery. Look at that celery. Unbelievable. This is never happened here. I quit growing celery because I couldn't grow it. And look at this lettuce. I have trimmed this lettuce down. I've even given it away. I've trimmed from this twice, and we still have so much salad. And then we have some more bush beans right here. This bed right here is amazing. And then over here is our kale. Now this is the 10-footer. It does a little bit better than what I had over on the other side. I did end up getting some radicchio in here, but not a whole lot. the spinach doesn't look like it came up too well. So what I am going to do is, once this bedding of lettuce is finished, I'm going to pull it all out, give the remnants to the chickens, and I'm going to plant some spinach in here. Okay, so the overall question that I have for myself is, do I just go ahead and take and make rows of these galvanized beds, taking those 20 footers out and just making rows on both sides of nothing but galvanized beds? Or do I just go ahead, spend the money into the wood and build those beds up higher and fill them up? This is my question that I want to ask myself at this point, because something definitely needs to be done. Those are not growable like this. This right here is where my harvest is going to be the ultimate best. One more thing to show you that I've never been able to do is fennel. And here it is. I have fennel. So that is my question on this homestead. This is why I follow leadings. Lord God, I never go wrong with those leadings. Oh my gosh. So I did a bed, just a random tire thing that my husband brought home from work. I went and filled it with nothing but spearmint. I haven't shown you what that spearmint looks like. It's crazy. That's the spearmint right there. Do you see how bushy this is? I've made one picking of it already and started drying it. And a matter of fact, I made some tea with it. So yeah, y'all, this is amazing. Oh, and it is getting too warm for parsley. Let me show you how. This one saddens me, but it's reseeding itself. I'm literally leaving this alone and letting it do its thing. I will go and buy this parsley from the store if I have to, because you see this right here? You see all these seeds that are going to be doing right here? I'm going to let this reseed itself. This winter I am going to cover it, because I will get the most amazing bed of parsley just like you see right here. I'm going to be able to trim some of it still, but not a whole lot, y'all. This thing is bolting very fast. So, but you know what? I'm okay. Parsley's not that expensive, so I will do my best. And hey, I'm happy. I got to harvest quite a bit from this. It was amazing. See the roses? I don't get rid of these roses. I actually gather these roses. I wash the petals. I dry them, and actually you can make rose water. You can make tea out of this. So I do not discard or let my roses go to waste either. I use the leaves. I found one anise hyssop left right here. So I am going to cut some of this. It needs to be trimmed down. I'm going to cut it down, and we're going to let it keep bushing out here. But I did find one anise hyssop left. That was amazing. So my family, this is the homestead as of right now. I am super, super excited to be able to know that I am going to have a harvest. I had a gut feeling, and I'm going to learn to stick with that gut feeling from now on. I'm not going to fret about it no more. When I get it, I'm going to take it. And this is why. This is absolutely amazing. This is my first time I can actually say this homestead is going to see an amazing harvest. I seriously, yeah, I have never grown radishes like this before. This is super good, and I could literally fry these up or roast them at this point. So, and I still got a whole bed to go through. So I'm happy. Right now I'm making some pickled beet quail eggs for snacks. So we're gonna have that as well. Anything that we can put in our body that's so much healthier, that's coming from this homestead, this is what my goal is. This is what I teach, and this is what this homestead is about. Mediterranean, going back to our roots, doing as we were never meant to leave in the first place, basically, even from milling my own flour. And I'm getting amazing results. the kamut pasta that my husband had last night. We had spaghetti. And I'm going to tell you, that man doesn't eat just a small portion. He had a good bowl of spaghetti. 2 hours later, his blood sugar was 126. So that told us kamut was better. It was great. He can actually eat it. It's a whole wheat berry. It was a flour source. It is, however, a sister to durum wheat. So durum tends to make him spike. Now here is what I need to study. Is it the durum wheat that has been processed and stripped, made into semolina or 00 flour? Or is it the durum wheat that is freshly milled? Can he have that? If I can find a smaller bag, that will be my test, because I want to know what the process is due to stripping out all of, like, the flour, all of the good things and the benefits to that to make it shelf stable, or does it matter at all? Because they say that durum is okay for a diabetic until it is cooked. That will be one of mine once all the shortages around ease up a little bit. Now I can get durum, but if I'm going to do a testing, I do not want to go to Azure and get a 25-pound bag if we're not able to use it. That would be kind of senseless. So I'm going to look around for a small bag of durum, just the durum wheat berries. I do not want to get any of the processed flour. So these are my tests to come, but I will tell you, kamut works amazing. It is the sister of durum wheat, and I didn't know that until recently, until I did my research. And the pasta is amazing. Yes, it is a whole wheat pasta, but nothing like that crap you get from the store. That stuff is just nasty and gross. But it has a beautiful nutty flavor. It has a chew just like pasta. It's amazing, and it's one that we can live with. And I'm going to tell you, my husband's picky, but he actually likes that one. So this is the update of the homestead, y'all, and I knew I had to show this to you to let you know why I talk about the Lord and why I follow what He tells me, where He leads me. Because if I didn't, where would I be right now with all of this? Seriously, I would be right back to what I'm doing. That garden over there is so far behind, but it's the same time it was planted. It was the same time it was put into the ground. I am seeing huge difference in both areas. So I got some thinking to do, and I now see where I was being led. And the same thing with my squash. I was worried about it being under here until June. It gets watered, and I've never seen squash in 2 years, and I'm now seeing squash. It's being somehow it's getting fruit on it, so I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to let nature take its course. I'm not going to get involved in this, because this, I prayed, and when I prayed, my answers are being done. God's got His hands on it. I just till it, take care of it, and I mend it just the way I'm supposed to be. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed this, because this homestead is about to flourish like y'all ain't never seen it before. I am happy. For once in my life on this homestead, I am so happy. It took me a long time to get where I'm at. And from here, it is nothing but goodness. It's not going to be great all the time. Now, I do have an entire week worth of rain coming, so I got to watch it. But for right now, I'm going to be grateful, because I don't have to water it. Come this summer, we may end up with a drought, y'all. And when I'm going to tell you, when the drought hits and we got 100 and something degree temps, it's rough on our plants. And I'm going to have to figure out how to fix this. So the next step for my tomatoes now is I need to build a trellis for them. When I build that trellis, I may be able to get a shade cloth, which I have over on those, and just prop it up over the trellis and create a tunnel for them to keep them from the heat, along with the peppers. So we'll see. I got plenty to work with right now. So I love you dearly. I'm gonna keep up with you as much as possible on this path, because it's going to be interesting really, really interesting. I'm going to love the fact that I can can San Marzano tomatoes and I don't have to pay the high rate at the grocery store. And this is fresh, y'all. So, I love you. I'll see you next time from Parton's Heritage Homestead.